Personal questions.
Yeah, they don't share.
Ankle. I don't have much more than that.
She stepped on it.
I think she stepped on her foot. I haven't seen it back yet, but I think she stepped on her foot. But it could be incorrect.
Disappointing. I mean,
Ankle. No look. Disappointing for her. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Ariel freaking did something about 20 seconds later, and she was able to come back, obviously. But, big credit to everybody who stepped up. It was a weird third quarter and all that going on. We just hung in and we defended our asses off, and we showed the mentality I think that we wanted to show.
Slim Big all game started off hot, and also seemed to kind of control things down the stretch as you guys were going possession to possession. Would you like that yourself?
Thought her most poised quarter was the fourth quarter, which is a really good thing. You can see she's getting her legs back a little bit. She's getting her burst back. She's able to turn the corner on bigs. Switching's all fine and good, and you can take away a lot of stuff until you got a guard that can just go by you. And I think that's, she bailed us out a few times. Not even bailed us out, just made the play we needed her to make with the shot clock running down, or when we got a little stagnant, she was able to put her head down and go.
You went with Emily, I think, a little earlier than usual, and she had a great game. What was the idea of kind of getting her in quicker? If I'm right on that, that's what it felt like.
I can't even remember when I put her in the first half. I mean, the second half was just, we were down a big and I had to get rotating. But she deserved it. We had practice here yesterday. I thought she had a great practice. She did a really good job on NECA. I mean, she's given up size and experience and all that, but she used her length. Helps us. She can shoot the ball. She can shoot the ball and space the floor and make some plays. And, I was trying to play with matchups a little bit, but I wasn't trying to do that 16 seconds into the second half. So from there, everybody just had to step up.
Turnovers rear their ugly head a little bit again. I think 18.
You mean you don't think we should have celebrated that we got our turnovers under 20?
I guess just kind of what do you see in that area?
Choppy growth and learning. Seattle's really good at doing that. They're active. They're switching. They got bigs who can move their feet and show length. And we didn't have some of the crazy ones tonight that we did last time, but we're really young at certain points on the court, and we got people that haven't played a lot of minutes together. And I wish we would get that number down, and we just got to keep working at it. It's no simple fix.
And just the last one, just overall a weird game, people going down, and you guys still fighting and figure out how to get a win over a pretty good team down the stretch. Just kind of, what do you take from that, just overall?
Resilience and some guts. I thought there's a few different moments in the game where it could have gotten away from us. Each huddle, it felt like we regrouped, or even when we didn't have a chance to regroup, we got a stop and a rebound and maybe got something easy on a good cut or in transition. Thought Shatori and Emily, got called into action. Leah, too, early in the third, got called into action and really stabilized us early in the fourth, gave us a nice run there. So, when the shit's flying, you kind of need a lot of people to just hold the line, and I thought we did a good job.
Yeah.
Jen?
Hey, Eric. Starting off with Emily, kind of looking at her season big picture, she had that big weekend against Dallas in June, and then her minutes kind of, dipped a little bit and her points kind of dipped, and then she's got, played pretty well on Friday and again today. But through all that, you've talked a couple times about, kind of how well she's practiced and how she's been kind of working all season. From your perspective, like, how have you seen her kind of develop over the course of the whole season and get better?
Yeah, we evaluate players every day, and I judge Emily or evaluate her in some ways far less on the games than I do just how she approaches her work each day, what she's like in practice. Is she retaining game plan? Is she bringing energy? And I think she's found a really good consistency to her work and a routine that's worked for her on non-game days, practices or optional days. I'm trying to play a bunch of young players. I got whoever I don't play, you guys are going to ask me about. That's the truth. I mean, I got Shakira's 24, Aaliyah's 22, Emily's 24. Steph has been probably our steadiest player most of the year. It's hard to play everybody, especially when we got people back. So it's important for her and others to just stay with it, to keep trying to get better. You have a lot of opportunities to improve during the season. And, I thought it was a great sign for her tonight. She got frustrated. She got a tech, and then she got herself back regrouped and focused on the important things to help us win.
And then, having Slim back, and starting Julie alongside her, just curious kind of how you've seen Julie kind of adapt to, playing alongside Slim now, playing the 2-point guard lineup and kind of how you've seen that work out.
They're figuring, a pretty decent connection. I think Julie has fed into Slim pretty good. Like, if you run, I'm going to look for you. I'm going to throw it ahead, or if I bring it up, we can get you on the weak side of the floor, Slim or Ariel, and the ball can swing to them. Likewise, when the ball's in Slim's hands or Ariel's hands, Julie's a dangerous off-ball shooter. So, I think you've seen over the years, we always like having a couple point guards on the court or that can play together. It's been a pretty good staple of ours for the last however many years. And, I don't think you can have enough passing and shooting and playmaking.
Awesome. Thank you.
Tyler.
Hey, Eric, I want to ask about Slim and kind of you guys bringing her back in with the group, and you talked about the process of having her not be with the team, but progress with the team back in. How do you think that process is going back-to-back games where she's able to hit 20 points, and it seems like you're starting to give her more minutes and extend those as we go on?
Yeah, a little better every day, probably. You got to give her a chance to play through some mistakes, rhythm, getting her emotional and mental feel back for the game. It's not going to be perfect right off a long layoff. So, it helped having that Olympic break, but it's not the same as playing games every couple of days. And, we need her scoring right now. She draws help. She gets to the rim. And, I think people are around her now figuring out how to play off of her a little bit and what she likes. And she likewise is learning her teammates a little better.
And how's her kind of aggression and kind of approach to just being able to generate those shots and generate opportunities for herself? Are you seeing that kind of rub off on some other players and kind of how the general offense works around it too?
I don't know about rub off on other players. I think her aggressiveness opens things up for other people. She puts such fear in teams of being able to get to the rim. You have sometimes some people help when they shouldn't, and that opens up shots for everybody else. Like I mentioned, the switching before, it's a little dangerous switching a big against her. So, similar to when we have other people out, you miss the skills that person brings to the table, especially your best players when they have some unique abilities. It's nice to have it back and be trying to figure out how to use it.
Thank you.
Jordan.
Hey, Coach Jordan from Television Sports. Congrats on the win. My first question is about Ariel. I know she came back into the game at some point, but it was announced that she went to the locker room due to an ankle injury. So, due to her ankle, so I was just curious on what happened with her ankle that caused her to go to the locker room.
I don't actually know. I don't know. Like, we came out of the timeout, and one play later, she just told me she needed a sub. So, I'm not sure what caused it. It didn't seem to be too serious. We got it worked on for a minute, and then she was able to get back in.
And then my second question is picking up a close win like this against a team like Seattle. I guess just talk about what does that do for not just overall team confidence, but for the rest of the season going forward?
Yeah, we talked about, I was asked before the game about the stretch of road games that we're playing for in the next 5. And I think the most important thing for me, more than playing good offense or playing good defense, was the mentality that you have to have going on the road into somebody else's building. You got to show composure in those moments. Every one of these games is a growth and learning opportunity for us. And, I think for the first one against a really good team that doesn't lose a whole lot in this building, to kind of hold the fort and win it with our defense, I thought showed really good poise and growth from our team.
Thanks, Coach.
Kinsey.